This is Providence Television International, the game changer.
Good day and welcome to the program, The Week in Review. My name is Ugwebo Ikekwa. On this program, we would actually be looking at events that actually made the news, major events that got people's attention on the news as regards the week in retrospect. Well, once again, you are welcome, and we'll be delving straight into the program with this first report. The National Judicial Council, NJC, has taken decisive action against the Chief Judge of Imo State, the Honorable Justice Teresa Chukwuemeka Chikeka. At its 107th meeting in Abuja, presided over by the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Honorable Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, the NJC directed the Imo State Governor to retire Justice Chukwuemeka Chikeka with effect from 2021. The NJC further ordered Justice Chikeka to return all salaries and allowances she received since October 27, 2021 to the NJC's coffers. Justice Chikeka was found guilty of falsifying her age, and according to the NJC, she should have retired in 2021. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has called for the appointment of a credible leadership of the Independent National Electoral Commission at all levels for electoral integrity. He stated that Nigerians must ensure that the INEC chairman and his staff are thoroughly vetted, adding that the vetting exercise should yield dispassionate, non-partisan actors with impeccable reputations. The former president further stated that the INEC chairperson must not only be absolutely above board, he must be transparently independent and incorruptible. Troops of the 6th Brigade Nigerian Army, Sector 3, Operation Well Stroke, on Sunday arrested a notorious kidnapper, Suleiman Ahmed, who allegedly extorted over 70 million naira in ransom from his victims in Lao local government area of Taraba State. Suleiman Ahmed, a resident of Bomanda village, confessed to abducting approximately 20 individuals in Lao local government area, adding that he owned an AK-47 rifle used in his operations. Subsequently, troops recovered the AK-47 from a concealed location and arrested one of Ahmed's accomplices. The accomplice, a suspected gun runner named Hussaini, was apprehended at his residence in the Mayo Dasa area of the local government. The Nigerian Army reaffirmed its commitment to dismantling criminal networks and ensuring the safety of law-abiding residents. President Bola Tinubu has expressed Nigeria's readiness to represent Africa in the United Nations Security Council. President Tinubu disclosed this on Monday at the 19th G20 Leaders Summit opening session in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, calling on the Council to reflect global diversity by allocating 2 permanent seats to Africa as Nigeria stands ready and willing to serve as a representative of Africa. President Tinubu also lauded the Brazilian leader Lula da Silva for championing the creation of the Global Alliance Against Hunger and Poverty, stating that it is a bold and visionary step in addressing the persistent challenges of hunger and poverty across the world. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetukun, has urged Nigerians to refrain from using social media to report the conduct of police officers, but to direct such complaints to the Police Complaints Response Unit. Speaking at the PPROs and Police Communication Experts Conference in Asaba, Delta State on Monday, the Inspector General emphasized that the use of social media to address grievances often leads to misinformation and undermines the integrity of the police. IGP Egbetukun stressed that the Police Complaints Response Unit provides a more structured and accountable process for addressing complaints. He noted that the police consider the media as a critical partner in promoting transparency and accountability within the police force, but however cautioned against unverified information. The Dangote Petroleum Refinery has begun the export of refined petroleum products to neighboring West African countries. The first export was to the coast of Togo, a neighboring West African country, with more than 300,000 barrels from the refinery. Last month, the chairman of the Ghana National Petroleum Authority, Mustafa Abdul Hamid, hinted that Ghana is interested in buying petroleum products from Dangote Refinery to help Ghana cut more expensive exports from Europe, which cost the country about $400 million monthly. Fuel exports from the Dangote Refinery to other African countries, South Africa, Namibia, Angola, Niger Republic, Chad, Burkina Faso, and Central Africa Republic will take off before the end of the month. The Federal Capital Territory Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has intercepted a truck loaded with vandalized items during a night patrol operation. 5 suspects were arrested in connection with the incident, which took place in the early hours of Saturday around the Day area of Abuja. The NSCDC FCT Commandant Olushola Odumosu on Tuesday stated that the truck was flagged down after it was observed that it had no front and rear plate numbers. The driver sped off when the patrol team signaled him to stop, which led to a high-speed chase, resulting in the suspects being apprehended. Recovered items include drainage covers, communication mast accessories, bridge shoulder iron pipes, stainless steel pipe clamps, manhole covers, scaffold pipes, and aluminium conductors. And Edo State Governor Senator Monday Okpebholo has begun the construction of a flyover bridge at Ramat Park, Benin City, as part of efforts to reduce traffic congestion in the city. Governor Okpebholo stated on Tuesday that his administration will also construct 2 more flyover bridges at Dawson Road Junction and Sapler Road at Disuwa Junction, all in Benin City. He noted that the completion of the Ramat Park flyover in Benin will transform the economic and social fortunes of the capital and Edo State as a whole. The West Africa Examination Council has banned 13 schools in Kogi State from the West Africa Secondary School Certificate Examination. The schools were banned following their engagement in malpractices during the 2023-2024 West Africa Secondary School Certificate Examination. The State's Commissioner for Education, Mr. Wemi Jones, disclosed this during a meeting with some principals and supervisors who were indicted by WAEC for examination malpractices. The commissioner emphasized that examination malpractices remain a criminal offense, noting that offenders will be prosecuted in accordance with the Kogi State Education Law 2020. He further stated that the committee will be set up headed by the ministry's permanent secretary to investigate personalities indicted by WAEC. I will take this little break. Don't go away. Please stay tuned.
This is Providence Television International, the game changer.
Thanks for staying tuned. If you are just joining in, this is the Week in Review, and I am Ugbebo Ikikwa. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has alerted the public to the circulation of substandard and unregistered sugar products in Nigerian markets. It stated that the low-quality sugar smuggled from Brazil poses significant health risk to consumers and undermines the integrity of the country's local sugar industry. The illegally imported brands do not meet the mandatory vitamin A fortification requirements set by Nigerian authorities, potentially putting consumers at risk of blindness and other health complications. The FCCPC, however, reassured the public that it is taking strong action to address the issue. The federal government has stated that it is closely monitoring the legal proceedings of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Simon Ekpa, following his arrest in Finland on charges of inciting terrorism and promoting violence. Ekpa was detained on Thursday, November 21st, 2024 by Finland authorities, citing his alleged involvement in inciting violence through social media. The federal government says it will continue to track the progress of a past legal case, emphasizing the importance of the proceedings in addressing the influence of IPOB and transnational actors on Nigeria's national security. The Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, NERC, has ordered electricity distribution companies to immediately downgrade customers in the Band A categories if the distribution companies cannot meet the promised 20 hours to electricity consumers. The Commissioner of Licensing and Legal Matters for the NERC, Dafe Akpeneye, disclosed that distribution companies must ensure that power is supplied to Band A customers or downgrade such customers to meet what they can provide. With regards to the NERC transferring regulatory oversight to states, Akpeneye said states have been empowered by the Constitution to generate, distribute, and transmit electricity. And now to the foreign scene. A United States-based Nigerian, Ifeanyi Ozo, has been sentenced to 72 months in prison for his role in a $6 million bribery scheme aimed at defrauding a U.S. insurance company, Medicaid, through kickbacks. Ozo was also ordered to pay a sum of $4.9 million as restitution to the insurance company. The 54-year-old Ozo was sentenced following his conviction for conspiring to pay bribes to bring patients who were registered under the Medicaid insurance to a non-existent clinic in the guise of receiving treatment, which was used to receive claims from the insurance company. The United States President-elect Donald Trump has confirmed he is prepared to declare a national emergency and use military assets to fulfill his 2024 election campaign promise to carry out mass deportations. Trump plans to fulfill his campaign promise to conduct the largest deportation operation in United States history, which spurred condemnation from rights advocates and has raised questions about the feasibility and limits of Trump's power as president to remove millions of undocumented immigrants from the country. The Republican president-elect is likely to face a mountain of legal challenges. However, he proceeds with the deportation enforcement. South Africa has assumed the presidency of the G20, becoming the first African nation to lead the influential bloc of the world's largest economies. The handover ceremony took place on Tuesday during the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The Brazilian president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva, officially transferred leadership to South African President Cyril Ramaphosa, who pledged to prioritize Africa's development and the global South's interest during his tenure. President Ramaphosa highlighted 3 key areas of focus for South Africa's presidency, which is promoting inclusive economic growth, leveraging artificial intelligence, and addressing food security. Iraq is conducting a nationwide census, its first attempt to gather demographic data since 1987, when Saddam Hussein was still in power. The Ministry of Interior announced a 2-day curfew for the extensive operation, which will see 120,000 researchers gathering data from households in all 18 of the country's governorates on Wednesday and Thursday. Iraq has spent much of the past few decades devastated by conflict and sanctions. The 2023 United States-led invasion that toppled Saddam Hussein, sectarian struggles, and the emergence of the ISIL group. The census is expected to have profound implications for Iraq's resource distribution, budget allocations, and development planning. Serbian authorities have arrested 11 people in connection with a roof collapse at a train station that killed 15 people and led to protests alleging that government corruption was to blame. The suspects face charges of committing criminal acts against public security, causing public danger, and carrying out irregular construction work as part of a renovation project. Regular protests have occurred since the accident, with protesters alleging that the roof crash was a result of sloppy renovation work caused by rampant corruption, lack of transparency, and demands that those responsible be brought to justice and punished. Prominent Ugandan opposition politician Kizza Besigye has been kidnapped in neighboring Kenya and taken to a military jail in Uganda. He was kidnapped in the Kenyan capital Nairobi while attending a book launch event of a fellow politician. The Ugandan government and military have not commented on the incident. However, his wife, Winnie Byanyima, disclosed that she has adequate information that he's presently being held in a military jail. And that's all we have for the week in review. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next week, Saturday, same time, same station, please stay tuned.